that a guy named SoFtBOILeD is playing Yoshi.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that.
And, like, this matchup is so cool. Like, we don't see a ton out of either of these characters, and both are so unique, right? You have Pocket from Villager, or just a very weird game plan where Villager wants to run away, but also set up traps, and just, like, is never really scrapping with you in a, like, consistent advantage. But
yeah.
Meanwhile, Yoshi has that double jump armor, and unique shield properties, and so just this matchup is just very weird and different than everything else in Ultimate.
Yeah, no, I totally understand, and we have some really truly wacky matchups like that. I mean, these characters, they have their niche uses. Yoshi is someone who, I mean, has some really strong representatives, both here and abroad, right? I would say Yoshidora, obviously the strongest that we would know of, but still Suarez, what a terror. Raptor as well. I love watching those guys play. SoFtBOILeD right now is using a little bit more of a passive playstyle, but you have to use against Villager because what do you have other than the good drift that you have and the egg to get in? Yeah,
I mean, you have, right, double jump armor. You have the ability to mix up your aerials, at least in theory, right? Like, you do have a significant delay timing between Dare, Fair. Your Nair is very active as well. So, like, you do have tools, but if Villager just is so good at catching your landings, catching your anti-airs, it's one of the things that Renai did so well in Smash 4, and we see all of the villagers doing in Ultimate, is just limiting your places to land, and with Lloyd Rocket, and then just covering the rest.
Yeah, right. Now we're starting to pocket these eggs, and that looks like it leads to a good little edge guard situation, but I noticed that SoFtBOILeD was unperturbed, ended up getting an extended edge guard regardless. Jerm still trying to reset anything. These Lloyd Rockets are creating the pressure, but I mean, it really only forces SoFtBOILeD to jump, which he's going to do anyway.
And praise RNGesus, because that was 3 turnips and 1, 2, 3 to the blast zone.
Stock's going up.
Yeah, absolutely. Stock's going up, stock's going down, right? SoFtBOILeD down to 2 here in game number 1 on trying again to find these ways in, but as you were saying, like, Jerm has done such a beautiful job shutting down SoFtBOILED's platform movement. It feels like every time SoFtBOILeD tries to use a platform to land, Jerm just covers everything.
Right, it makes sense. And now, yep, you are able to do that, and then extending and being able to stuff out that Lloyd Rocket in the same fair. That actually was a nice little way that worked out for SoFtBOILeD. He's still playing a nice little spacing game, and Jerm just throwing out anything that will keep SoFtBOILeD at bay. Not able to do anything yet. This drift has been so killer.
Yep, and there we saw the turnips come out, but not able to find the spike hitbox and find the early stock. The Nair reverse hitbox not going to do it. Yoshi, one of the few characters that still has a reverse hitbox in Ultimate. Sakurai opting to remove most of them from the game, but both these players just able to find straight hits, but really not able to find significant conversions here so far.
All right, still we are forced back into a crawling neutral. Only 1 stock taken, and we're 3.5 minutes in, folks.
Yeah, the fact that this game is more than halfway over, and just sometimes...
Over in terms of time, but not in terms of stocks, trust me.
Sometimes you just get so threatened that you just don't survive. It doesn't matter if you get hit, and Jerm losing his stock there, but trying to find a way. Beautiful job of that up smash. That move is so active. It's great to catch at the landing. You can pull it a little preemptively. Nice dash attack at the ledge as well. Just a great ledge trapping option. And again, he's just playing so well, perfectly outside of Yoshi's burst range, where Yoshi either has to be incredibly unsafe on his shield or drift back and risk the Lloyd Rocket. Absolutely,
and I think the use of Tree has been absolutely crucial, right? Because Tree does a couple things. It sets up an entire area where now SoFtBOILeD trying to use that to, like, extend is not doing a very good job, but it also gives you Axe, and those jump callouts with Axe have been something that Jerm's fishing for. We'll have to see if he's able to get it.
And villagers don't use Umbrella enough. I really like that from Jerm there. That move just does great knockback. I love the turnip into the Lloyd Rocket as well, just finding a little bit extra percent. And suddenly, what was a close game a moment ago it has been turned into SoFtBOILED getting lapped.
Oh, goes for the down air, but not able to get it. And of course, like, great air dodge, was just barely able to survive that and get around it. And there's a spike, but we've got a little bit more time to survive. It's not going to be just enough yet. And you still have the second stock as well. SoFtBOILeD looking for that Hail Mary. Unfortunately, going to need a lot more than that.
For up Bs without a recovery, without a hitbox, sorry, Villagers is so incredibly strong. Those balloons providing you so much extra protection and the flexibility in terms of movement, in terms of distance. And we've seen it come into its fullest. They're just missing that axe call, jump call out that you were pointing out earlier, or that would have sealed the game. As good as SoFtBOILeD has been playing this, he's still at 133, and even double jump armor is not going to save you after a certain point. Three turnips. That's again, his RNG has been crazy.
Something crazy. Jerm pulling out all the stocks when it's all necessary, and that's going to be, can we see in game 2, can we see a little bit of a change, or is Yoshi just SOL against this character?
I think Yoshi has ways in here. I really do. But I think he has to rely on egg more. We saw egg get pocketed once, right? You can throw out more than one egg. Once egg gets pocketed, you can still use them.
It doesn't take it away.
We're not seeing SoFtBOILeD attempt to slow down the game, attempt to threaten. And once egg got pocketed once, he just went away from it.
Well, see, the issue is, like, Slingshot can deal with egg, right? Slingshot can deal with egg. Turnip can deal with egg. You can extend in the same way that SoFtBOILeD is using some of these projectiles to extend hitboxes. Jerm can, in theory, do the same. And Villagers are no stranger to doing that in their game plans.
No, and absolutely, but you also, like, you have, right, your double jump shenanigans, you have your slingshots, you have your movement mix-ups. Yoshi's air acceleration is so good that you're able to really just psych out Villager, or find these false approaches, find these vertical combos, and at the end of the day, right, like, you have the tools to deal with his recovery, even if you're not. Like, I think this is just both SoFtBOILeD getting a little uncomfortable in the matchup, and Jerm playing it very well.
Yeah. And so far, I can hear the crowd actually coming alive right now. Now, Jerm, I'm not going to lie, kind of a fan favorite. A little bit of a meme paper. We're not. I can hear the crowd kind of groaning after that one. SoFtBOILeD doing a great job finding that call out. We're looking for something to deal with those balloons. He's able to pop one, but not both of them. And this time, he just cuts it out instantly.
And one of the big things I've noticed from Jerm that's been incredibly effective has been the timing mix-ups on Slingshot. That he's just willing to say, okay, I'm going to Slingshot, I'm going to Slingshot, I'm going to Slingshot. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to wait a second here. And he just is catching SoFtBOILeD over and over, as well as the knockback differences between fair and back air, meaning that a move that looks almost identical is actually going to do a very different thing to you.
Precisely. And, I mean, right now, Jerm's still struggling to take the kill, even with some of these, like, bigger turnip pulls. You can see he's getting the good RNG, still getting good RNG, but, like, SoFtBOILeD is not getting hit by them, and therefore, I mean, he's just not in danger of dying. The neutral and the stage control is currently his.
Yeah, no, and right, we're seeing the adjustments from SoFtBOILeD in full effect. He's really abusing his movement in this matchup a lot more.
Yep.
Villager has a lot of tools, right? We saw it in game 1, but they all cover very linear space. And so if you can bait them out, suddenly you have free range to just get in and get a punish.
Sure. Oh my god. Okay, so finally we take the stock with the Lloyd rocket. However, 90% later, Jerm is bleeding out. This is not looking good, and SoFtBOILeD is looking for the kill here.
And we see the confidence in the egg coming back, right? Threatening this offstage situation twice. Allowing him to come off, get this grab. Another thing he didn't use at all in game 1. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to capitalize off of it. But at the same time, okay, the downside is you reset back to neutral, you get stage control, you're doing the same thing again.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we're still trying to call out some of these Lloyd rocket launches. I mean, there's a little bit of a moment before the hitbox becomes active where you can call out on that startup before it becomes even a thing that can be hit. You just pass right through it. However, speaking of breaking those balloons we were talking about earlier, now that forward air seems to be the catch-all option.
Yeah, Yoshi's double jump armor isn't the only thing that's big, strong, and unbreakable. That fair air means he has a skull of steel. Oh, and just, if all of a sudden it feels like SoFtBOILeD has become so much harder to hit in this game too, right? It feels like he just suddenly is just like, okay, what if I just, everything that was working game 1 just stopped.
Right, and I think the Battlefield pick really allows this to become the best opportunity for him to get the most off of these interactions, right? Like the vertical combos are great, and it's like the use of space, right? The jumping and over the platforms and kind of platform camping where you got to, and using those to maneuver around all of the linear projectiles that Jerm has been throwing out, right? Like if all of their projectiles are horizontal, what are you going to do? You're going to go vertical. You're going to take to the skies. That's all you can do.
And he's done a much better job at using F-tilt, up air in finding those openings to hit those moves, because he threw them out in game 1, but they didn't work. However, he's also managed to find a lot of down airs. Unfortunately, that up smash train not working out in SoFtBOILED's favor, but at 12 to 112, okay, you're like 1 or 2 hits away. Yoshi's got a bunch of kill power, but Jerm is starting to bring this back slowly.
Yeah, it was 12, and now it's 44, and that was a quick little interaction. Jerm, if he's able to catch SoFtBOILED, not expecting some of these tree setups among other things, that was a really good way for Jerm to kind of like matchup check a little bit. Expect SoFtBOILED to not do anything, then go to the other side. Nice.
Going
Very
around
smart.
the world just a little bit. Beautiful route, by the way, to even put Jerm in that situation in the first place. SoFtBOILED really threaded the needle between that Lloyd Rocket and Slingshot. Now, though, just trying to catch Jerm as he tried on those platforms, going back to stage. Finally, Jerm avoiding that egg lay and slowly, very slowly racking on this percent. 2:10 on the clock now, and I don't think we're going to get to that timeout, but the fact of the matter is it's still been about a minute and a half since the last stock was taken.
You can hear the crowd is absolutely coming alive right now. Jerm looking for something. Is getting mashed out? Can he mash out? He can. The mash.
But
Israel, no way. You get back?
Yes, you do. Ooh, Villager goes all the way around this character. If you don't hit those balloons, can just come back from absolutely anywhere, and just Jerm is finding the opportunities, SoFtBOILED is finding the opportunities, but Jerm's mash mix is so good, and that Nair going through bowling ball. What is even happening? 177 Villager, so light.
No way. Gets the Nair, gets a little bit more percent. He's throwing out the bowling ball. Might have been a innocent, but look over on the top platform too. What are you doing? Where is this going? He's dead.
Okay. He got there. He found the dash back. We're going to game 3, and I see a resident Yoshi main, Gabe OG, popping off over on the side there. Everyone in the house is excited to see a game 3. Honestly,
calm down now.
I mean, they always say save the best for last, and honestly, I think this is the most exciting set we've seen.
It's definitely tense. I will say it. Both of these players, what a strange situation at 150, 169%.
And just
Jerm, able to survive, got like hit by a Nair and still lived, and it's not often that happens. SoFtBOILED gonna have to figure out how to close these games out faster, or else that longevity will be his downfall.
It absolutely will be. The fact that a character like Villager, who's so light, is surviving to 170, 180 against Yoshi, who does so much damage, who kills, is so much heavier, is really concerning for SoFtBOILED's prospects here in game number 3, especially without that top platform that gave him so much mileage. But the rest of the stage is still very similar, right? There's a reason it's called small battlefield and not short PS2. So I think it's certainly possible, as long as he still is able to control the pace of the play through movement, maintain his confidence off stage like we saw him do in that game 2. I think it's certainly possible for him to take the set.
Okay, so the tree growing. Obviously, a good little call out. Obviously, Jerm going to be throwing that out. Just water the plant, hope that SoFtBOILED gets a little bit too close. And although it was a trade, it worked out perfectly for Jerm.
Yeah, no, very good stuff from both players. Jerm hasn't really attempted to get a grown tree at all this set, so really good stuff there. And finding the dare after the bowling ball, Jerm just said, okay, enough's enough, guys. I gotta go. Like, this block's almost up.
My God, he's going crazy right now.
Dude, he's like, I got top 64 to go to. Hold on.
For the fences. Jerm, what are you doing, you madman?
And he gets the tech?
Do it again. Down and no,
he
down
has no jump. He has no jump. I respect it, but I think he could have just gone for a Nair there, because with no jump, no egg, double eggs already out. Yep, this is it.
Dunzo.
That's it. Are you kidding?
Done. Get him out. The 3 stock. Get the 3 stock, everybody.
Nerf.
You better watch out.
Nerf. That was between games 2 and 3. We had 7 minutes.
I can't.
We had 7 minutes between games 2 and 3.
Oh, we got to do a commentary switch? I got you, boys.
Okay.
I got y'all.
Yeah,
I got y'all.
He knew. He was like, hold on. We can't let the event run too behind schedule. We got top 64 coming up, and I got my place on winner's side.
Oh, my God.